Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever, depending on where you're watching from. This is your favorite tutor, Tutor YOMI OMOREWA. In case you are new on my channel, you can subscribe and also click the notification button or bell so that whenever I upload any new video, you can be notified. I was actually solving this yesterday night. So I later realized that part of the video I was recording, the audio wasn't coming out because my mic was off and I didn't notice it at all until I was done. So I decided, okay, I'm going to just explain what I solved. So we have two questions here on variation. We know that there are variation is divided into four places: the direct variation, the inverse variation, the joint variation, and the partial variation. But these two, which is number one, has to do with joint variation, and number two is partial variation. So I will just quickly explain what I solved already. The question one says P varies jointly as M and U and varies inversely as Q, given that P equals to 4, M equals to 3, and U equals to 2, and Q equals to 1. Find the value of P when M is 6 and U when Q is 8 over 5. That's the question we are giving. So looking at this first statement, P varies jointly as U and M, as M and U rather. That's the first expression you are seeing here. This was expression that P varies jointly as M and U. As M and U. That's it. Very correct. And so I tagged or called that equation one. And then you move further again, that varies inversely as Q. Inversely. Inversely means as the other one is going up, this is coming down, or as this is going up, this is coming down. They are not directly. Why this is directly or jointly? This is inversely. So that's why it appears this manner. So P also is inverse. So that's equation two. And then bringing these two equations together, if you want to merge them, you have P. K is common, you bring P down, and then directly or jointly you have this, and then down inverse you have this. I'm sure that's very clear now. Then to change the proportionality sign, you introduce your equal sign and then bring in your constant. That was exactly what I did last night. So I introduce my constant. So my constant is K. And then I want to make a subject of formula. Making K subject of formula is not a big deal. I taught about change of subject of formula on my YouTube channel. And so you can cross multiply here. If you cross multiply, you're going to have KMU, and that's what we have here. This times this, that's what we have here. Okay. Then making K subject of formula, it means that you are dividing both sides by MU, and then by the time you cancel, you have K equals to PQ over MU. And that's the K, the relationship between the constant K and other variables that are given. Then now we want to find a value for K. To find a value for K, so we'll go back to the question. Then what is given as our P? Let's check it up now. P is 4, and that's it here. And then what is Q? Q is 1. Where is it now? Q is 1. And then we come down. What's our M? Our M is given as 3, and that's exactly what we're having here. And then what is U? Our U is given to be 2, and that's what we have here. I'm sure that's very clear enough. So you have 4 times 1, that's 4. 3 times 2, that's 6. You divide by 2, you reduce it, and then to the lowest term, so you have 2 over 3, and that gives us the value of K. Now, but we are not told to just find K. We're specifically told to find the value of P when M is 6 and U is 4 and Q is 8 over 5. And to do that quickly, so we go back to where we introduce the constant K. And so we have here, which is P is equals to M, P equals to KMU over K over Q. So we begin to introduce the value. What's our K? Our K is 2 over 3, and that's this 2 over 3 you are seeing here. Don't be confused that I put it down. That's exactly how it should be. And then you have Our m, look at it now. What's our m? That's 6. What's our u? And then I said 4. Look at it here now. That's 4. And then we come down here. What's our q? Our q is given to be 8 over 3, 8 over 5. And then by the time you work on that, 6 times 2 times 4, automatically that will give you 48. 48. But do not forget that 3 times 8, that's 24. And then we have this division sign. That's the sign you are seeing here. Maybe I should put it well. That's the division sign you are seeing here. So 24 over 5. And then changing this, you could take this up, and if you're taking it up from primary school as you were taught, this the sign changes, and it changes. As it changes, it goes up, and this one come down. So that's why we're having 5 up and 24 down. 24 here, 1, 24 in 48, that's 2. 2 times 5, that's 10. So therefore our p is what? Is 10. I'm sure that's very simple. So I go straight to the second question. The second question too, I solved it last night, but the audio didn't come out fine. In fact, it did not come out at all. So I'm going to explain number 2, which is a partial variation. Now, the quantity of P is partly constant and partly varies inversely as a square of Q. The quantity of P is partly constant. I took time to explain this last night and I solved it. The number 1 audio was fine, but the number 2 audio didn't even come out at all because my mic was off. So I will explain it now for you to get very carefully. The quantity of P is partly constant. How do you explain that? To explain that is what we have here is partly constant. Okay, so let me take it here for you. The quantity of P is partly constant. Okay, look at the question here. Quantity of P is partly constant, that's A, and partly varies as the inverse of Q square. Inverse is 1 over something, so partly varies as the inverse of Q square. That's exactly what we're having here, 1 over Q square. That's what I'm having there. I'm sure. So I now said where A and B are constant. So if you bring it together properly, B times 1, that's what we have B here. And then we have this is equation. So this is the original equation we have been asked to treat. There are times the question could say that the quantity of something it varies this. If the question did not say partly constant, it means that there will be a constant and a variable that is being mentioned. But the question started with partly constant, hence we put in a constant here. Your constant could be any letter you have decided to go for, but it must be specified, it must be mentioned, and it must be stated in the question so or in your answer booklet or answer script. So the examiner or whoever is going to mark will know exactly what you're doing. And so we were told in the question now to write down the relationship between P and Q. That's the question A. The relationship between P and Q. This is exactly the relationship. You can say it now. P partly constant and partly varies as the inverse of Q squared. This is it. So we go to question 2. Question 2 says that when P, let me take it back to you. Look at it here now. Question B says that when P is equals to 4, Q is 3. How do you understand that? When P is equals to 4, then Q is 3. Remember, Q is square, and so this is a square. And that's exactly equation 1, and that's how I got equation 1 here. 4 is equals to A plus B over 9, equation 1. And then the question again says that, look at it here, it says that and when P is equals to 2 and Q equals to 5. Let's do it again. When P equals to 2 and Q is 5. So 5 squared, that's 25. So you have this, that's equation 2. Then we have to solve simultaneously using elimination method. It's quicker and it's also easier. So using the elimination method now, I want to eliminate one of the variables. I could decide to eliminate B or eliminate A, but it's easier to eliminate A, so I'm going for A. And so introduce minus sign here. Why should I do that? Because I want to eliminate something. So to introduce minus sign here, so this is gone, minus, it will eliminate A. So I'm left with B over 9, which is this, plus times minus, that's minus, and then B over 25 equal 4 minus 2, because plus times invisible plus is minus. So you have minus 2. And then that gives us B over 9 minus B over 25, which is equals to 2. So this is what I'm going to treat now. I'm going to treat this and solve this. And what I did last night was to find the SCM. So I found the SCM by finding SCM between 9 and 25, and that gave me 225. So by the time I came here, I said 25, 225 being the SCM, 9 in 225, I got 25B, because 9 in 225 is 25, 25 times B, you have 25B, and minus, that's minus 25 in 225, that's 9, 9 times B, you have 9B. By the time you minus this from this, obviously you will have 16B over 25, which will give you 2. And then cross multiply, if you do that carefully, this times this times this, and that will give you this. So divide both sides by 16. Dividing both sides by 16, our B is giving us 225 over 8. What do I do next? I have to find A. Remember, I needed to find the constant so as to really express what I'm asked to express. So I came here and I have A plus B over 4 over 9 equals to 4. And so in place of B, I'm going to substitute the value of B 225 over 8 in the value of B here. And look at what I did, A plus this over this. Then this division sign you're seeing here, this division sign you're seeing here is exactly what is here. Look at it, A, B is this. Then this division sign is what you're having here, which is 9 over 1. And then I say A plus B. I'm actually simplifying it so that you will not have any issue to understand it. So 225 over 8. Then change the sign, it became 1 over 9. And so you can now cancel 9 here, 1, 9 here, 25, then equals to 4. Excuse me. Then you have A equals to 25 over 8 equals to 4. And then since I'm looking for A, I took this way. It became minus from plus since it's causing a borderline sign here. And so you have A, and then we did this. At the end of the day, I found the SCM 8, 1 in 8, that's 8. 8 in times 4, that's 32. 8 in 8, that's 1. And then 1 times 25, that's 25. 32 minus 25, you have 7, then over A. So I've gotten my A, and then I've also gotten my B, and that makes it fantastic. But that's not what we are told to do. We are just told to find, we are told to find Q. We are told to find Q is actually Q. We are told to find Q when P is 4. Find Q when P is 4. Do not forget to do that correctly. So I needed to do this. So I have P is equals to A plus B over Q squared. And so my A is known. My B, I know it too. And then doing this is not also a problem. So what do I do? Simply, I just put the value of I had to find this. I had to find it because this is not a problem at all. So I have to find this. And to do that correctly, look at what I did here. So they gave us the value of P to be 4. And then you have this, you have this. Isolate 7 over 8 from the whole thing. So it can, we can easily evaluate this. So I took it here, it became minus. And then by the time we solve this, it gave us 25 over 8. How? SCM, this and this times this and this 1, this times this 7, then you have this. So cross multiply again, and I cross multiply my Q square equals to 9, and then find the square root. To cancel square, you use square root, and to cancel square root, you use square. So I want to cancel square, so I introduce square root, and that square root automatically will go. This will go. So you have this And the square root of 9 is either plus 3 or minus 3. Or simply put, you can say 3. And that's how that question has been taken care of. And so, till I come your way again, I remain my humble self, Yomi Omorewa. God bless you. Bye.